signages, or even not to throw litter, no smoking. So all such signages are again a very important part of biosecurity measure, because this is how we can educate the public, not through major social media brochures or even digital media teaching. So it has to be a little innovative, and then if you can definitely attract the visitors to read and go through all the signages, it will definitely improve our standards of zoo biosecurity. And disinfecting the enclosure enrichment is also a important procedure, because in many zoos or even within the rehabilitation center, we tend to exchange the enclosure enrichment items, and there will be multiple animals using that particular enrichment, whether it is a ball or boomer rings, or even the hammocks. So it is important to make sure that we are disinfecting and drying them before we introduce to a different enclosure. And the restricted areas, as I said, the kitchen or food preparation areas should definitely be restricted from the public. And even if you are really showing another important or even officials to allowing to our veterinary clinic or even an operation theater, we have to follow some of these PPEs, like coveralls, or even shoe covers or head caps, even the mask when they are approaching or visiting any of our restricted areas, like either kitchen or even operation theater or clinic. So the disposable and reusable outer wear is again plays a major role. Disposable or reusable coveralls, lab coat, smocks, etc., and remove and leaving premises, and wear gloves and wash hands after removing it. And footwears like rubber boots, disposable plastic boots, or other easily cleanable footwears, and disposable of on-site if possible. Dispose of on-site if possible coveralls, gloves, boot covers, and disposable equipment. If not disposed on-site, place in garbage bag, seal, double bag, and dispose of later. So now again, these all things were now very familiar for many zoo managements because of this COVID-19. So in a way that we should thank COVID-19, because we all understood the importance of social distance and wearing mask, and then the appropriate usage of PPE, and the disposal of those PPEs. So this all are now very important to understand if you really want to put an effective zoo biosecurity plan in place. So personal protective equipments, as I said, the purposes is the protect a responder from hazard and prevent spread of hazardous between animals and locations. The briefing to do and not to do with the PPEs, because sometimes the disposable one or use and throw materials are repeatedly used by some non-technical people, which is not going to be helpful. So whether we need to clean the mask and reuse it, so then it has to be informed or educate properly to the keepers, and accordingly the PPE has to be procured and then kept in stock. And avoid cross-contamination, because people tend to cross-contaminate, because in a rehabilitation facility 20 staffs are working, all 20 are using the similar types of masks. So if they are removing it at the time of tea and coffee or even meal time, so people tend to cross-contaminate and then mistakenly wear others' masks. So it is very important to mark each and every PPE, and then tell them if you have some doubts with your own mask, better not to wear that mask and use a new one. So such briefing is really important. and all PPE disposed of or cleaned and disinfected prior to leaving premises. So, these things are not taken seriously, but I think if we want to put a proper zoo biosecurity plan in place, we have to make certain SOPs and then make sure the staffs are following it, and the disposable PPE is always preferred and disposed of properly, and reusable PPE, if waterproof, then we have to clean it and use in certain intervals, and apply disinfectant again after certain hours of spraying or scrubbing or soaking with the disinfectant. We have to give some time before we start using the reusable PPE. So it's very important. People should not get exposed to chemicals, and then if it is next to their nostrils, it will definitely affect the mucous membrane and irritate, and they tend to show some respiratory issues, and which is very much advantage for the COVID-19 to get affected. So it is very important to educate these keepers when we are talking or using about PPE. And disinfecting the vehicle. So as we all know that even all the fomites or even the handles of the vehicle, and whoever is regularly using it, or multiple used handles or even covers or hinges or latches of the bathrooms, or even your regular office or even operation theater doors and vehicle latches should be disinfected properly with an appropriate chemical, and clean between visits to production facilities include tires and floor mats. Use commercial car washes with wheel well washing. May need a tire spray, or sometimes even you put a tire dip, so that every vehicle passing by will definitely dip. But at the same time, it has to be the diameter of the tire, so that the entire tire will go into the water before it comes out of the disinfectant. So it has to be designed appropriately. So that is why I said even the construction of this biosecurity plan is also very important. So avoid driving in manure or wastewater. So again, if there is a drainage, open drainage, if the vehicle tend to go through that, we'll have to appropriately cover it on the top of the drainage, so that the tire won't get dipped every time, and that it carries the infected items throughout the zoo. And clean vehicles between visits to production facilities. Follow cleaning and disinfectant protocols strictly. The equipments, as I already said, whatever the equipment we are using, starting from your dart syringes, dart guns, and blow pipes, blow needles, your endotracheal tube, and the gastroscopy, whatever the equipments or your diagnostic tools which were directly used on the mouth of the animal, or a mucous membrane, or even a rectal thermometer, has to be properly disinfected before we use between animals. So it's again important to disinfect the equipment, and they are a potential reason for transferring microorganism. Equipment with animal contact, items used in the care, treatment, euthanasia, and restraint. Clean and disinfectant or appraise and dispose of. The C&D equipments, clean, disinfectant, store. Rubber equipment, use cautions. As I said, corona pandemic precautions at our rehabilitation center is to use sanitizer on daily basis. And if the keepers are moving between enclosure, they have to sanitize their hands, and it's always must for them to use their own mask, apart from the proper shield which we have provided for each and every keeper when they were dealing with these animals. And the foot bath, you can see in the middle picture that one of our animal care staff is dipping his foot before he enters into his enclosure. And disinfecting OT equipments. As I said, the endotracheal tube, which we used to put different animals when they are coming on the table, because endotracheal tubes are not use and throw materials, they are expensive, and we have to sterilize them before we use them in a different animal. And especially when we have a problem of tuberculosis or even any other microbial contaminants, or if they have some kind of E. coli or even salmonella problems, then you have to be very careful. And then before we introduce the equipments, or even using any of these surgical tools or equipments, make sure that it is disinfectant as soon as we finish treating one animal. And then am I audible now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yep, yep.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, I got my internet connection down, sir. Right. So I was talking about disinfecting and autoclave dart needles and dart syringes. So again, it's again an ignored area in any zoos, that they tend to wash the darts, but many a times the needles carries the infected material, or sometimes if you are giving antibiotics or any other drugs to a sick animal, it should always be disinfected or autoclaved properly based on the syringe type. If it is a metal one, you can always go for disinfection, or if it is a plastic ones, which we usually reuse it. So such kind of material should go into autoclave, and then it has to be appropriately dried and then checked before we use it for the next animal. So on daily basis, this is a few pictures I shared, the protocol of our daily routine in any of our rescue and rehabilitation center. So we generally use potassium permanganate solution for foot bath, or we rotationally change the disinfectant for even foot baths once in 3 months, and benzalkonium chloride, which is nothing but your commercial Lysol, 4% weight by volume liquid for bear dens and enclosure, just before the feeding happens inside the room, and both in the morning and afternoon, evening meal, we will be following 2 to 3 times a day cleaning, and bleaching powder, which is very effective against even your COVID-19, the calcium hypochlorite for outer drainage, and manholes for the enclosure where the bears are not in contact with. So that's again an important routine we have followed. So I'm pretty much sure that every zoo has got their daily routine. And even pond cleaning, every week we use a combination of potassium monopersulfate compound hydrogen, potassium, hydrogen sulfate, and potassium chloride and sodium chloride. So these are available as commercial products like TH4, or even a few other RH5. So different trade names are available, but that's the content of the product. And fortnightly in rotation, we use one disinfectant at a time. So the other one is didactyl dimethyl ammonium chloride components in different varieties, in addition to glutaraldehyde, which is again a very proven disinfectant, which we always use it in our pond cleaning in the free ranging areas. And flame guns and blowtorch. So when young animals from a nursery area, or even a hand rearing or a weaning area, to be shifted to a bigger enclosure, that particular area needs to be sterilized, and then with a blowtorch, because any amount of disinfectant, sometimes, as I said, they may not act on the spores. So it is always better to use flame guns, and it is a very simple mechanism. You can use any commercial LPG cylinders, and there is a nozzle with a long handle. So as long as you follow the safety protocol, then there won't be any danger in it, and you can have a long hose pipe, so that the cylinder will be far away from your blowgun. And it is not only to do this young ones enclosure, but also to deal with the morbidity and mortality. So if any animal dies because of any kind of infectious or contagious diseases, we immediately start using the blowgun for the entire quarantine area, so that we can make sure that the sterility or even the disinfectant was appropriate. So with this, I would like to conclude. These are some of the reference materials I've taken, and especially the National Zoo Biosecurity Manual, a cooperative initiative between the Zoo and Aquarium Association of the Australian Wildlife Health Network, was a brilliant document. So that is why I was insisting on this. And if any of you wanted to go through the PDF form of it, I am happy to share it, or it's always available online. And there are multiple biosecurity norms and regulations, but unfortunately not much was established in Indian scenario. But I think this is a good time for the zoo veterinarians to understand and then start working on the biosecurity plans, and then create some kind of set of standard operating protocols for your individual zoos and rehabilitation center. So with this, I'm grateful to all of you giving and sparing your valuable time and patience and listening to me. Thank you. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you very much. Many thanks, Dr. Arun. So we are discussing what topics we should take. So it was allotted another topic, but you replied that the biosecurity will be in the present context. So it will be very better, as we are very aware about the coronavirus, and we are taking so much the measures regarding the applying mask, so hand sanitizer, and remaining in distance. So that is also being clearly and daily routine practice in the captive animal, and so also whenever we are encountering with the animals in captivity or animals in free ranging. So thank you very much for selecting the topic, and it was a very good presentation. So many people, they have starting from the Kunal Batwal and this Kamal Sharma, they have written the good presentation, and Dr. Nitin Bhatia is also here. So I welcome and I congratulate Dr. Nitin Bhatia. So you are with us, and you have given that even in the chat box also. Okay, sir. So many people have given wonderful, sir. So and Dr. Bhatia. So Dr. Bhatia has given in the chat box, if we are working for animals, so it is good. You can't be working for hours in the concept. So this is perhaps with the Dr. Sharma. Dr. Sharma. So he has written, it is for Dr. K.K. Sharma. Dr. Bhatia, then regarding this. So nice presentation. Many people have written the nice presentation. So thank you very much for deliberating very good speech, and which is very beneficial in the present context. Thank you very much. With us in the organizing committee, Dr. Susan Kumar Panda, the professor and the head of the department veterinary pathology, who is the coordinator, and with us also Dr. Biswadip Jena, the co-coordinator, assistant professor veterinary surgery. So now I would like to request Dr. Susan Kumar Panda, professor and head of the department veterinary pathology, to extend the vote of thanks. Dr. Panda.
Good afternoon to all the guests and participants. On behalf of the organizer, I offer my heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Pavan Kumar Agrawal, who has been always a guiding force and encouraged us for such type of webinars and workshops. He was there in the inaugural session. He's all, as the head of the family, will always take care his valuable suggestions in the coming days. We are very much thankful to our Dean, College of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry, Professor Dr. L.K. Babu, who is a guiding force always for such kind of activities for the benefit of our students, faculties, and professionals. I convey my thanks to Dr. Hrusikesh Patra, DPME OUT, who has made the organization of the workshop very smooth because of his all type of smooth coordination. Our college, and more particularly IDP-NAHP cell, is highly benefited by the support rendered by Dr. R.C. Das, who is the PI IDP-NAHP of the university, for organizing such event, for all types of support. We are very much thankful to him. We are indebted and thankful to get a very renowned wildlife expert. Yesterday, Professor Pradeep Malik, former professor and head, Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, with very rich deliberation. I also convey my thanks to Dr. Rakesh Kumar Singh, zoo animal expert, who have impacted very important aspect of wildlife health management, specifically during rescue operation and transportation. Today, we are overwhelmed with deliberation of Padma Shri Dr. K.K. Sharma, who has brought animal surgery to the most challenging wildlife surgery, with more particularly in the field of rescue, critical care, and management of elephants and rhinos, and disseminated to us, and who is now considered as the elephant man of Asia, elephant man of India, who has brought the glory of getting the highest award for his conviction on this area, and we are very much fortunate by getting him in this virtual platform. We are really fortunate and also grateful to you, sir. At the same time, today's webinar, today's workshop is only successful because of our speaker, A. Arun Shah, because of his eloquent deliberation on biosecurity in zoo animals, specifically in zoo habitats. His rich experience has helped us to know all the aspects, because all the diseases now related to biosecurity, biosafety, all these things. So he has taken all the aspects of zoo management with respect to biosecurity. That is very, very important for all of us, which you have learned, and that will be disseminated in the coming days with the YouTube video to other participants also, because it was really both the talks today and all the two aspects yesterday are very, very useful for all the people who are working even in other aspects, in not only in the zoo animal aspect, even also in the domestic animal aspects. I must give all credit to our organizing secretary, Dr. Jayakrishna Das, who is the IDP head, nodal officer of the college, who has taken all pain and coordinated all the aspects of organizing the workshop, taking everybody starting from authority up to the experts in a very smooth manner for coming to this successful conclusion of the program. I also thank our colleague Dr. Vishwadeep Jana, assistant professor, who has also cooperated always from the beginning till the end in organizing the event. So once again, I thank all the participants, our dear students, our learned speakers, our all officials, my colleagues, at the same time, our dignitaries and guests, for making the organization of this workshop successful. And I thank everybody once again. I thank one and all. Thank you all.